Hi, my name is Sid, and today we'll be discussing about the different kind of games, or maybe you can just say the top 10 kind of games. So we will educate you regarding the games, what kind of games people like to play. So from the top 10 games, the first game which I would like to talk about is Bingo. Bingo is a game in which player try to match randomly selected numbers and to their cards, and there are cards of 5 into 5 matrix which 3 lines each, like 5 numbers in each column. And to make a bingo, you need to top up the all the columns, the middle square, the top row, the bottom row, and there is another thing which is called corners. If you for 4 keys got selected on the different corners, then there is a bingo as well. So the first person to form a specific pattern calls out a bingo, and the cards checked for accuracy and winners is announced. Then the round begins. This is called a bingo game. It's a very interesting game, and I would also like to tell you that mostly ladies play these games, and whenever they have the parties and kitty parties, they love to play this game. So the ninth game, or you can say the second game, is Baccarat. So in Baccarat, what happens that each player has 3 options. So players tie and banker. When all players have placed their bets, the dealer deals out 2 cards. One is the banker hand while the other is the player hand. The hands are added up, and if totals over 10, the 10 is dropped. A hand equal to becomes 0 or a Baccarat. The winning hand would be the higher of 2. On anyone who placed a corresponding bets wins. So this is a very beautiful game of Baccarat, and it can play with the 2 cards of the banker and the player, right? So now I'll talk about the next game, which is the game number 3, which is Wheels of Fortunes. It's a very interesting game, I must say. This game is played by placing your bet on one of the 6 symbols on the game table. Then the wheel is spun. The wheel is divided into 52 equal sections that are separated by pins around the edges. So when the wheels come to a stop, the pointer will be between 2 pins. All bets placed on the symbol of wheel stops on, and you win. That's the beautiful part of this game. So the fourth game we'll talk about is Keno. So Keno is a kind of a lottery game. The player get a card number from 1 to 80 numbers. The players then pick up 20 numbers at a wager. The card is then registered and the game begins. The caller announces 20 randomly drawn numbers, and the players tries to match as many as called numbers to their selected numbers. The more numbers, the higher the winning paid against their wager. So this was the game rules, and now we'll talk about the fourth game, which is Pie Grow Poker. This is a very famous game. So it's placed against the house instead of the other players. The dealer deals out 7 cards to each player and himself in rotation. Everyone then looks cards and tries to make the 5 card and 2 card poker hands. The 5 card hand must rank higher than the 2 card hand. The hands are then compared to the next dealers. If both hands beat the dealer, the player wins. If both lose, the player loses. If both the dealer and losers wins on the hand, it is a push. It is a tie, you can say that. So this is about Pie Go Poker. Next game is Roulette, the 5th game. In Roulette, the player places his chips on the table where they would like to wager. The table consists of a number of 36, 0 to 36, and then 0, then additional betting for even and odd, red and black, low 18 and high 18, 36, between 1 to 18 or 18 to 36. So these are kind of a different betting in Roulette. So the dealer will signal no more bets. The dealer will spin the wheel in a clockwise direction, then roll a ball in a counterclockwise direction. The ball lands in a numbered slot on the wheel. All bets that corresponds with the number wins, right? So it's between 0 to 36. If you choose any one number, and if you want, you'll whatever amount you have put in the bet, you'll get 35 times more than that because you have chosen one number. But if you go for odd or even, or like for example if I bet it for $100, so I'll get double for that. Odd, in odd or even, you'll get double for that. And in 0 to 18 and 18 to 36, again you'll get double the amount, because you have chosen under 18 or over 18. So the next game is slots, which is the sixth game. Slots are machines that played number of different games. It's basically hardware machines. They're very popular, very popular. And in general, the player will insert coins into the machine and either pull a hand or press a button. This causes the wheel to spin. In older style slot machines, there were 3 wheels. In the newer machines, they tend to have 3 to 5 stimulate wheels. When the wheels stop, the player is paid based on the pattern of the symbol. So it is the most played games in the slot shops. And this is the beauty of the game. And now we will go to the 7th game, which is a blackjack. It is basically a card game. Everybody knows it. So the card games played between the house and the player. The dealer deals out 2 cards to each player at itself. The dealer has 1 card face up and 1 down. The player then makes turns trying to get a close to 21 without going over. Aces are equal to 1 or 11. Face cards are 10 or number cards or face value. The player calls heads to get a card and stand no to their turn. A player may also call double to double their bet and may only receive 1 card at the turn's end. If a player has 2 identically numbered cards, they may split. This requires them to double their bets and get 2 more cards, making 2 new hands, and they may play. After all players' turns are over, the dealer reveals their cards. And if the dealer hits the total of 16 or less than stands 17 and higher, everyone who has a hand that beats the dealer without going over 21 wins. So this way the player wins upon the dealer. Now I'll talk about the next game, which is the 9th game, which is called Craps. Craps is a high energy dice game based on the 7. The player places bet around the table. There are many places to bet. The pass line is the main focus of the game. 7 and 11 win. On this line, while 2, 3 and 12 loss, all the numbers rolled make an established point. If that number is rolled again before a 7 is rolled, the bet wins. The don't pass line in just 2 opposite 2 and 3 win, where 7 and 11 loses. The field line wins on 3, 4, 9, 10, 11, 12 and pay double. The come line is payable after a point is established. Now you have to understand that it plays the same as the pass line. The don't come plays don't lie pass after the point is established. Then you also can make bets on the horn. And likewise you can say that these bets are on getting 2, 3, 11, 12 on the next roll. Other bets includes big 6, 8, C and E and 7 and craps. So these were the rules for the craps game, which is a very popular and very interesting game. So now we'll come to the 10th and the last and the best ever game which is being played throughout the world is the poker. I will tell you the rules of the poker. Poker is a card game based on the 5 card hand. The ranking of hands from the lowest to highest are high card, pair, 2 pair, 3 of kind, straight, flush, full house, 4 of a kind, straight flush and royal flush. The player with the best hand wins. There are many versions of poker such as 5 card, draw, 5 card stud, Texas Hold'em, Omaha, Hold'em, Brass, Pineapple and 7 card stud. Omaha is one of the oldest games of poker. It's a bit tricky and a bit tough than what we have like a Hold'em. Hold'em is much easy game. So these were the rules of the poker games, and I have told you how to play 10 different kind of games. And I hope that this video has helped you in getting to know about how to play games and which are the games to be played and which are the games which is played most in this world. And I would also request you that before going out, please like, subscribe, and comment on the option given below. And if you want to know information, if you want to get information of any kind of game or any kind of question, if you have related to games, online casinos, slot games, racing games, then you can write into the comment box and we will reply you shortly. Thank you so much and have a nice day.